Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bienvenidos a la last game of the night. It's going to be Seven Wars Lyon Gaming taking on the Cognitive Gaming roster. And they've seen a little bit of a change up to their rosters over time, but they've finally found one that I think is going to work. Now, because we had a few delays, Lyon Gaming will be losing a ban. So we're going to see fewer champions banned out, but I guess that's nothing new by now. So welcome to the broadcast. I am Reed Rapid Melton. For a limited time, you can follow myself on Twitter at RapidCasting. League of Studios over here joining me. We're going to hop into the game, check out these picks and bans. So a couple of bans already out there. Evelyn and Elise there for Cognitive Gaming.
Yeah.
And the Evelyn ban is no surprise. In fact, if you guys caught Lyon's Gaming's game yesterday, Elise is just a monster.
Yeah, both Elise and Evelyn actually have been played a lot by Thiak. There have been two of his go-to champions, and it looks like Lyon losing all three bans actually, so completely wiped out in terms of control.
Yeah, I believe that is because they still haven't put or added 2B Vijo on their roster as a support. Because we're all used to seeing Nerzul in that slot, and Nerzul a great asset to the team, but apparently can't be here tonight either.
And there's also the fact that because he delayed the game, it all kind of adds up. So no bans for them, which is unfortunate. We might see the Kassadin roam towards Baby Zeus as they do ban Kazakhs out last. So Kassadin, he's been kind of on and off as that first pick, first ban champion. Some people ignore him, some people love him. It depends on your perspective, but Cognitive, if they want to, now is your chance to go for that first pick Kassadin because, well, they had control of the bans. They got rid of the two E's in the jungle, Evelyn and Elise. And it's really their choice. Do they go for that? Do they feel confident in it? They are kind of a newish team.
Exactly. That's the thing about this. I think this is like one of the first times we've seen Cognitive Gaming get all three bans. It's been a rough transition from their old roster to the one that you see fielded here, but with very, very few bans out there. I don't know, it's kind of like how many OP champions can you pick all at the same time? Kassadin's still up, but this is 4.3 Kassadin, and I don't know how much harder they can hit that guy with a Nerf bat.
They can hit him hard.
He's been hit so many times. He's like purple. He was originally like regular colored, but those are bruises now because that Nerf bat has really hit him down. But Thiak's going to grab Lee Sin here away after having a full jungle ban list against him. Pantheon, Evelyn, Elise, Kazakhs. So he's on Lee Sin now.
He's still a solid champion. We've seen a lot of good plays so far from the Lee Sins actually. So definitely making the Lee Sin work. Amu now being hovered over. It's Captain Ziploc. I would actually prefer to see him on maybe more of a Vi, as that is a very Ziploc-style champion. Kassadin being hovered over once more. It could be support Lulu, actually. So Kassadin might be roaming towards that 4th, 5th pick spot, because if he doesn't have a strong counter pick, then all of a sudden he becomes a lot stronger as a champion. However, Lee Sin's actually a really good jungler versus Kassadin, because he can come in level 2, level 3, and just beat him up. So I expect a swap from Ziploc, because Ziploc's also a bit of a troll.
You know, the Heimerdinger, too, not really very likely there. So as it is hovered over, it will probably once again be changed. The Kaelin being hovered over is probably a little bit of a better idea. And while AP Lulu is strong, once again, it's kind of how many OP champions can you get, because there are so few bans. But you still have to wind up with a team comp there at the very end, and it's between Heimerdinger and Warwick. I'm going to have to choose option D, none of the above. I want to see Warwick come back, but he's going to need some sizable changes there. And I think they are actually working on a few reworks for that guy. So
we'll get confirmation about the Heimerdinger. That could also be a placeholder pick, which because maybe this might not own all the champions they want to pick. If that's the case, you toss in the Heimerdinger.
No troll? I don't know. It is Baby Zeus, and while he was actually one of the first players to actually get to rank 1. I think he was the very first challenger player in North America. It's going to be Heimerdinger is apparently Nami. So
Zeus has like 3 champs according to Diamond. So.
Well, he did play only Ari and Akali on his way to the first challenger in the world, or at least in North America. And he loves those assassin-based champions. Heimerdinger and Nami not one of those. So surprising that he owns Heimerdinger, unless he's free this week.
Akali and Ari, he's just going alphabetically through the champions when he buys them. So eventually he'll reach Nami. He just bought Warwick because Warwick's that cheapo champion.
That's true, and possibly free this week as well. So we will have to do a little bit of a remake quickly after this, just to make sure that players who don't own champions that they want to pick can get those placeholders taken care of. So no Heimerdinger this time around. I was getting my hopes up. Baby Zeus just dashed them.
I mean,
oh, come on. One of these days.
I'm not happy to actually see Heimerdinger.
It's kind of like Skarner. It only takes about 4 reworks before they're actually playable. So
yeah, but Heimerdinger is one of the champions who he had such a negative impact for such a long time, and then was worthless
Phosphorus
for such a long
bomb turrets.
Phosphorus bomb turrets that did 1 billion damage. the missiles that did 1 billion damage as well and had lower mana cost. There's been some terrible times for that champion.
It's been a rough time for Heimerdinger.
Let's say Heimerdinger top maxing out missiles to spam was actually viable for a long, long time.
And it used to be that Heimerdinger's concussive grenades actually hit turrets and dealt damage to them, and they had such a long range. You'd just see Heimerdinger's like max that skill and then walk up to about halfway through mid lane, bomb the turret, and walk back, and then
just win every.
So
like you would kill the turret by the 6 or 7 minute mark because how do you stop this concussive grenade hitting your turret? But regardless, we'll have the remake of Rest in Peace Heimerdinger. We are better for having lost you. And with that, we will have the Nami instead. Overall, though, it's going to be fun to see how these teams do line up. Cognitive, they're getting structured. They're getting better. Overall, improving day to day. As long as they maintain a roster, that's really the big problem for them.
that is true. And so apparently we have to redo some ordering here so that everybody can pick the champions that they want to and get everybody back in there. But yeah, we were talking about the lack of junglers out there. Still interesting to see not only just the jungle presence, but now running kind of double support, not triple support like Dignitas, would just love to see come back. But I mean, there wasn't a ban on Soraka. And Dignitas did have that champion banned against them like twice in a row in LCS. So
it's
I want to see
gotta
all
have
the
that
supports
style.
all the time.
You got to be ready for the Soraka. You got to be prepped for the Soraka plan. And if you don't practice that Soraka, you can't go not hard with Soraka.
That's true. I mean, there is sort of like the medic squad heal force out there where you just run all sustained champions. There's also like the Shield Bros comp that you can go with. Tons of supports out there. Most of them viable, some of them not, but hey, they're coming back. And so now we'll see at least 2 of them here with the AP Lulu mid and, of course, the Nami in the bottom lane. As we hop back here into Champion Select, should see the same champions here. And this time we should have time to comment on exactly who is playing what. No, it's not a Victor captures Ziploc. It's going to be changed up to that Vi.
I saw that Vi pick earlier. You can't switch back on the Victor or on the Vi to Victor. I'd love to see Jungle Victor, but guess not
They're
tonight.
both in the Vs, but yeah. I feel like one's going to see a lot more play
One's
than the other.
a little bit more commonly seen. We'll go with that. As for the team comps, you know, a Vi Lulu combination, you're going to see a lot more damage being built by Captain Ziploc as he likes to play aggressively. Damage has been trendy on Vi, and then also having the HP from Lulu's ultimate means Vi can play a little bit more aggressively with her item choices. This is there's a very good focus on that incredibly heavy dive from the Italian one and Captain Ziploc with Shyvana and Vi, and they can really go for a huge dive onto someone important like, let's say, Seiya or Ian. And that, of course, is going to be Diamond in the background, just kind of protecting himself with a little bit of help from Executioner Ken. It's pretty cool, pretty standard team comp. Not a huge focus on anything, but overall very generalist.
All right, and so now here we go. We're going to see the lock-in there at the very end on that Lucian for Ian. The real big thing to notice, once again, is that Nerzul's not here, so we're running with a little bit of a different roster, but still got that 100% wife steal lane down there in the bottom, a little bit of a lore lane there, and Nami on Caitlyn. Now that is going to be a little bit rough to deal with. It's kind of like Janna Caitlyn. You just want that extra power behind those 650 range auto attacks, and with that, I think we're about to get into the game.
Just got to go ahead and go through that spectator delay, but with that, we'll give a quick shout out to our lovely, lovely sponsors. Of course, we've got Loot Crate Who for $13.37 a month, and as Dan pointed out earlier, that does spell out Leap. You can get a crate of loot sent straight to your door. That crate will contain nerd swag, peripherals, apparel. The theme for this month is Attack on Titanfall, giving you both your anime and mech combinations. You can get a cool shirt based off that. We, of course, have Phoenix peripherals with impeccably crafted, high-quality gaming accessories. You have mouse, keyboard, mouse pad, and headsets, all of the finest caliber, highest quality. Check them out if you're interested in one of those products because they're all really well made.
All right, do want to close things out by mentioning our sponsors at LOL Class. You can check them out by clicking, of course, the LOL Class button right down below your screen, or by heading over to lolclass.com. And there you can find a very affordable way to sign up for lessons with some of your favorite pros, both from LCS and the Challenger scene. Learn how they play some of their best champions so that you can play them too. So make sure to check them out and give them a, give them a shot because it's actually really cool to see what they have to offer. That's all for our shout-outs. We're going to shout out to you guys for watching. Thank you once again for tuning in as we head into our last commercial break of the evening. Heading into 7 Wars Gaming Lyon. They'll be taking on Cognitive Gaming when we come back after a short commercial break.
Those nights when we were younger, forget about tomorrow and live for tonight while we're free. Touch the sky. Tonight we're coming alive. Sky. Tonight we're coming alive. And our hands will touch the sky. Tonight we're coming alive. From the dust we will awaken, and life will fill our veins. But these are the moments that we live for. I can't keep it inside of me. Touch the sky. Tonight we're coming alive. Touch the sky. Tonight we're coming alive.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the last game of the night here at the North American Challenger League. I am Reed Rapid Melton. Joining me, of course, is Chris Studio Grant. We're getting into, like I said, final game as Lyon Gaming, or Seven Wars Lyon. They're your team on the right-hand side in the red, coming down, facing off against Cognitive Gaming. And, Lyon looked very, very strong yesterday in one of their strongest performances of their entire season. So it's nice to see if maybe a new team coming in here to NACL can make a big difference against Cognitive Gaming, who have had a very rough season.
I believe if Cognitive win this game, they'll actually tie out their score versus Lyon, or be at least in the same number of wins. Both these teams have had just overall rough season. Lyon, of course, are taking the slot of the super team NA that did disband halfway through, so generally not a good sign for your score. And of course, Cognitive actually had the exact same issue. So overall, both teams come in with kind of jaded scores in that regard, just trying to find any wins they can.
All right, and there are very important reasons that we do not reveal the chat going on in game to the viewership. We're protecting you all from some incredibly funny stuff. Apparently, Diamond has just been recruited by Lyon to their team in place of Ian, and the qualifications for getting his spot were whether or not he could play AD Cannon. There's lots of praising of the Helix and some pausing coming out here as we wait for everybody to get back in. Apparently, they did not they did not praise the Helix hard enough. We'll be looking to see exactly who can do what and how much as soon as we get into the game, because I think the biggest action point so far has been the dropping of a Trinket Ward. Actually, 2 of them so far. So.
Double the action at that point. Yes. Right now with this start, I mean, both teams going safe. We'll see how the lanes end up kind of building up. No one's going to be late to lane. No one's going to be really disadvantaged at all unless Ian doesn't show up in the game anymore. That would be a pretty big disadvantage, but he has reconnected. Hopefully we should have an even start from both sides. I mean, this is going to be pretty standard lane for the most part. Expect Caitlyn to push in the bot lane, not go for too many kills just because it's kind of difficult versus Lucy and Thresh. And then overall, just all the lanes be relatively passive, relatively farmy, aside from just, trays and auto attacks. Once level 6 turns around, though, that's when you start getting the burst combo from Thresh. That's when you start getting LeBlanc getting crazy. And, of course, jungle gets even stronger with Lulu.
All right, so we are going to have a quick little restart by a couple of the players just to make sure that everybody's back and where they should be. For the meantime, we'll be kind of talking about maybe some of the history of 7 Wars Gaming Lyon. If you guys are new to this and were wondering about maybe some of the music choices earlier on, 7 Wars Gaming Lyon. 7 Wars is a Brazilian organization that actually had a Brazilian team that played in IM Sao Paulo, but then fortunately dropped that roster and picked up the roster of Lyon, who also played at Sao Paulo. So nice to see some South American love coming in here to the North American scene and playing up against some of their best players, best teams. So Lyon Gaming were actually a team that played in a lot of NA tournaments, most recently last season when they played in ALCS and did very, very well. But that was back when they had Yuri on the team as their mid laner. But now Seiya's stepped up into that mid lane role. They brought in Ian here as their AD carry. And of course, they still have Nerzul as a support, but 2B Vixo is here as their support standing in.
Getting a good view of Porky, thanks to our cameraman Prius, of course. Handling all that, getting a good zoomed-in view, making sure we don't reveal anything. That he's in the brush, he's hiding, he's waiting. Someone could enter that brush at any moment, and there could be a gank, but the pause has to end first. I mean, Lyon's a pretty cool team. They've got a lot of history. It's nice seeing them represent the Latin American scene. The Latin American scene has been growing steadily. Of course, part of the issues they had is just by having worse servers, it's kind of harder to compete versus North America. So now that they have their own servers, everything's kind of establishing. A lot more solid, and teams are rapidly improving down there.
Yeah, absolutely. Lyon Gaming, one of the premier teams in LAN, where I think they have they've kind of shared titles with Lyon, and then there's also Brawl. They kind of share those top 2 spots, and of course Arenales Net Gamers there, as well as a couple other teams that I can't quite remember from watching their ladder rankings. But LAN's actually a really cool scene to watch them sort of come into having their own servers, get their own rankings out there. And it's a cool scene to check out. If you ever see like a random Spanish tournament up there on Twitch or wherever you're watching your tournaments, make sure to check it out because it's actually really fun. So it's nice to see that. Of course, the Brazilian servers down there as well, and a lot of love coming from South America here to North America against Cognitive. Now, Cognitive kind of have their own history here, and it's a little bit diverse, let's put it that way. After having very strong runs in the Challenger scene and actually having a shot at LCS last season, they have since then disbanded and have come now with the new roster, all of whom are here this time around. So nice to have the full roster of the new Cognitive V2.
Full V3, really, because the original Cognitive broke up, got replaced by another Cognitive, which ended up breaking up pretty rapidly, and now you've got this third Cognitive, and we've also had some Cognitives in between. I wouldn't really count them as a version, though, just because they've been more or less temporary.
Well, I tend to be a favor of all things rapidly, so I'm approving of that, but now nice to see that things have settled down. We are finally back into the game. So we've got everything and everybody right where they should be. Baby's just going to draw first blood on the minions, and now just walk straight on to Seiya, who's definitely winning out that trade, just bouncing on in.
Yeah, of course, this is the early LeBlanc trade. You go for the distortion. Unfortunately, help picks and do a whole lot for Baby Zeus in that exchange. So actually, LeBlanc in that early trade is going to be nice for him. The distortion does have a long cooldown, though, so he can't spam it out
50 ability power on Seiya level 1. That is that's somewhat aggressive. I was like, why is he winning those trades that hard against Baby Zeus? Definitely working out.
It's a lot of AP, it's a lot of chunk, and Distortion actually has a really good base value. It's like 100 or so damage just with every Distortion in. So just lots of trading going on. They're going to be in his favor. Lulu's not in that much danger.
Oh, Bubble lands onto Thresh, turning it right back around. He's going to get some Flay autos right back, but already Seiya forcing his Distortion away now. Just because, hey, those potions keeping Baby Zeus happy in lane.
50-second cooldown on those Distortions. That's enough time for Lulu to take the harass, get her cooldowns back up, and just out-trade LeBlanc any day. And actually, that does force Seiya. It looks like he might be going back to base, at least waiting on the potion sustain. Flash Ignite has been burned by Baby Zeus, as it looks like Flash has been burned by Seiya as well. So LeBlanc still having that Ignite cooldown, but losing a lot of lane control right now.
Yeah, the Ignite as well stops some of the healing coming out of those health potions too. If you can ever Ignite somebody during their potion, it really decreases a lot of that healing. The Flash, the Flay stopping the Flash, pulling him back, speed him away there with that Tidecaller's Blessing, but it's just not enough. His first blood goes to Ian.
And it's the rule of thumb, don't get hit by death sentence. That is a death sentence, of course, the most important to lane, but Nami not exactly a tanky champion herself. Does have the heal, does have a stun. The stun, though, was pretty decent. In the end, it's not quite enough to get him out of the fight. So we see this with Annie, we see this with Nami. If you do have a squishy support, you cannot get hit by death sentence, especially as against Lucian, who level 2 has just such a good spell weaving combo of burst.
You know, if it had been like if you'd used like Torrent or like Rainy Day, then you would have gotten a speed buff off of that. But no, not able to come in there. But now, the Flash in there, just wombo comboing Baby Zeus. The 2v1, we got Captain Ziploc trying to get in there. Not actually able to wait. Oh, wait.
Wait. Did he get... Okay, did he get Denting Blows? Not Denting Blows, but the AoE on the clone as it teleported back? Like, what happened there? Was that a long-range crush? I guess so. That must have been it, because there weren't exactly a whole lot of things to actually kill Seiya right there. There were possibly a wave of minion attacks, but I don't believe so.
so surprised that what we just saw. Seiya had at least 100 hit points there at the very end.
Yeah, that was just massive. All right. Good kill from Ziploc. He does give himself up in response, and I believe Fiak did pick up double buff, so that's going to be rough.
All right, so I am attempting to figure out exactly what was going on there. If you guys have some insight on that, we'd love to hear what you have to say and see what happened there. But the surprising turn of events, mid lane will give another kill, and actually the first kill of the game over to Cognitive Gaming. Baby Zeus back in lane. And Seiya now having a rough time. Gonna go for the sort of new school Chalice build, which is, it's nice for your early game, your sustain, but it really slows down that DFG.
I'm still watching, looking for the footage just to see what happened. But going back to the game at hand, looks like we do see a good route onto Baby Zeus. Initiation coming in from...
Oh,
can't secure the kill, though.
No random loss of 100 hit points there for Baby Zeus.
You need a Vi for that one.
That's true.
What happened? Unfortunately, the flash being done on Baby Zeus meant when he pushed out there, he was too far out of position, letting LeBlanc and Lyon go for those over-aggressive, super awesome dives onto him in the mid lane. Italian one now being pressured up top lane, taking a lot of damage from Renekton. So we've been seeing time and time again, Renekton's just winning the lane too hard.
All right, so from what I can gather, it's actually the area of effect damage off of Vi's Denting Blows that hit that damage, latent creep damage, and of course the red buff that all ticked down there a little bit more aggressively than I thought. That was just really surprising early damage to give the first kill over to Cognitive, or their first kill rather. But deaths across the board really haven't had all that big of an impact. Probably primarily, of course, in the mid lane. Junglers, of course, have basically similar items. But here we got the Lantern Gang coming into the bottom. Executioner Ken's going to try to get himself out of there. Dodges that death sentence, but now has to dodge away from Fiak, who will throw down that Tempest Cripple. But a lot of damage being traded right back around. Diamond never stopped auto-attacking as he kited back, and really nice to turn that gank around.
Nice defensive play. Unfortunately, that cannot pick up another kill. You can see a goalie actually really surmounting for Lyon, up by about 1.3k, and with the way their lanes are working, you know, it's Renekton top lane, Snowballing versus Shyvana. Shyvana can do okay if she can stay a little bit behind, but this lead keeps growing. It's just going to be massive for Porky. In the bot lane, Ian's doing quite well versus Diamond. Diamond only behind by 2 CS, but Ian does have the kill and support, and actually chains do land on Baby Zeus. Baby Zeus, though, really controlled this fight.
All right, well, there's Seiya going way in there for a very favorable trade in the Lantern. Pulling Ian back away from all of that. Diamond, of course, only level 5 instead of level 6, so no headshots, or headshots, yes, but no aces in the hole.
And Lulu does have the ultimate, so she can get chained down and silence and still die to Seiya, but if he does not get chained CC with the silence, the ultimate pops up, he survives, and Ziploc also there for the duel to back him up. They could really go for the aggressive burst onto Baby Zeus, but Thiak and Seiya will be playing that safe and not going for some overzealous plays.
All right, well, the Italian one top lane versus Porky is a matchup we haven't talked about, I don't think, at all this game. And probably something we won't necessarily talk about for a while, other than, of course, Porky devastating this lane. Shyvana is supposed to be a champion that, trades very well and has a lot of good early game against Renekton as one of the kings of early game, but picking up a Brutalizer and, of course, that Doran's Blade start really helping him establish 20 CS lead there over the Italian one's Shyvana.
It's all about that early push for it. If Renekton gets the wave starting in his favor, he can stay pushed in. He can go for the aggressive pull the Meeks. He can get those trades off with those Predators. Wow, a lot of damage being done
Assault and Battery on to Seiya. Thiax right there with the safeguard, trying to turn things right back around. Ziploc gets blown apart, and now can Baby Zeus chase in there on to Seiya? No, Ignite to follow things up, and now Baby Zeus gonna die. It's a double kill for Thiax.
Thiax 302, 100% kill participation, getting the killing spree. They just cannot chase him down. The one hope for Baby Zeus was that he got the help picks backed off, and LeBlanc's clone could have possibly given him that clear lance. As you can see in bot lane, Thresh is far forward, going for the auto attacks, has play up in a second or so, but can't quite get in range. That is a Lucian Thresh damage, just a bit too high for Executioner Ken and Diamond to compete with, and of course Nami, her bubble, not too reliable early on.
Yeah, and giving Tidecaller's blessing there to Caitlyn to help her kind of speed him away like a Gungan sub. Back to that turret, now back to farming. Both AD carries basically on par, having those BF swords in their pockets. The extra kill over to Ian really hasn't manifested itself just yet.
Yeah, there is a BF sword finish on both sides, but the Bloodthirst.
Oh, Italian one walking back to his turret. We got Porky very, very tanky. Dragon's Descent. This is a pretty good name for the skill he does. Go back to base the hard way. 6th kill of the game for Seven Wars Lion.
I think the issue here for Cognitive is all their lanes are losing. It's Renekton ahead top lane by 30 CS, and once Renekton gets ahead, it looks like he's going to stay ahead with that kill. Say the mid lane does land the chains, maybe he should actually be able to at least stay even in this lane, but while he's behind by not that much CS, this is just the kills building up in LeBlanc. She's a snowball champion, and if you snowball LeBlanc with the Athene's build, she farms up incredibly well, and actually Ziploc might get the catch. No, the juke's a bit too much.
It's like, and I gotcha. Oh, just kidding.
It's unfortunate because if that Vault Breaker does hit, that would have knocked him out of the distortion, actually. And there it goes.
Captain Ziploc's going to find out Thresh, who does have the ability
Makes
to chain over the wall to the white, who might finish him off, but no. Thresh stays alive in the back, and there's a giant growth keeping Diamond in there. But Executioner could get sniped out. Ian finds it after flashing in to a Vi, and there goes Ian. Here comes Vi looking to lock down the rest of this fight, but it's actually Baby Zeus who goes down there. Seiya coming in towards the end, and of course it's Thresh that picks up the kill. Overall, just a 1-for-4 trade, as now things going sizably in favor of Lyon.
Just getting those kills, racking that up. Good a flash in from Ian. He knew he would die if they turned on him, but at the same time, them turning on him gave enough time for Seiya to catch up. They gave enough time for Thiax to catch up. Even gave enough time for Thresh to catch up at the very end of that fight, despite being chased out into the white pit earlier. So he goes for the flash, knows he'll trade it and die if they do turn on him, but they'll pick up so many kills, it's totally worth it. The Dragon going down, now 5,000 gold lead by the 10.5-minute mark in favor of Seven Wars Lyon. It's unfortunate for Cognitive, they don't have the best team to necessarily have some decent wave clears soon on Lulu, but Shyvana up top lane's going to need a lot of backup. Lulu herself might get bursted down for that Vi combo. Caitlyn is going to be relatively safe bottom lane. That's going to be their safe lane. Though they are at risk of being pushed in and a death sentence landing onto either Nami or Caitlyn could very easily secure a kill.
All right, so at least for now, things looking very, very good. Seven Wars Lion, especially in the jungle. If you guys caught last game, Thiax, or the game that they played yesterday, Thiax Evelyn just tore a new one every single time he went for a gank. Now, this time around, he's basically doing the same thing, but on a Lee Sin instead of that Evelyn. I think he was like 906 yesterday, or 909 yesterday. This time he's 604, looking to improve on that score, and has a very, very good one here at about the 11.5-minute mark. Dragon, still an issue. We'll have to see what happens there. Is now Lee Sin waiting to come over the wall there. Has the safeguard on to Thresh if he wants, but now Gank's coming into the top lane. No initiation time.
Unfortunate, but they can't secure the kill. But the dive on bot lane, Seiya going for it. Chains do actually connect, but not going to see around underneath the turret. Seiya would have tanked it up and probably died himself by the time that root did finally land.
It's interesting to see the dragon pit be so much of an issue, even though the dragon's not actually up and won't be for a while. Of course, the first one did go to Seven Wars Lion, but still that as like a staging area for aggression on this bottom lane. You can see it coming in, but nice job by Executioner Ken and Diamond to avoid all of that gank pressure.
They are at risk of still being ganked through the jungle. You can see Captain Ziploc in the mid lane waiting for a bait, losing the area, just kind of trying to bait out Seiya as Vi could easily go for the ultimate or Vault Breaker into the ultimate. Bot lane, though, the dive has not stopped quite yet.
Oh, Executioner Ken's going to get a nice tidal wave knockup onto Ian. Is going to back off away from that turret. And I don't care how well you tank that turret. It's not going to be enough to take out 3 people. Now, Baby Zeus very, very low. The chains will connect. There's giant growth. Turning that damage right back on to Seiya. Ignites down with that distortion. Bouncing in. Uses the clone. Micros that towards the turret to tank it up. And then bounces right back out again with that distortion. Seiya wins the 1v1. And, of course, bottom lane as well. One kill after another. And Thyak, more importantly, going legendary at 9-0-4.
He's not even legendary. He's legendary +1. You only need 8 kills for the legendary. Seiya actually in the top lane. Gonna get caught out, but gonna distortion out of there just in time. The ignite is on him.
Okay.
That should be enough. Maybe not. Maybe go for the gank build out to ignite. It's a bit too risky.
He was ganking a full health Shyvana, and sure Porky's there to help him out there, but he had like 2 hit points.
I mean, he had enough hit points where Shyvana landed the ignite, and that was it for the kill.
Yeah, that's maybe I've seen a few better ganks out there, but
He's resetting his gold as he was getting close to the killing spree. There we go. There we go.
And that evens it up at 1-1, and more importantly, stops Seiya from just getting those huge snowballs roaming off of ganks in every lane. So,
well, it kind of does, but the issue is he's still ahead of Lulu, and Lulu's just getting destroyed in lane. Like, he still has that snowball mid lane versus a Lulu, which is a bit rough, just like all the minions doing 0 damage to each other. There we go.
All right. We had a few server issue arenas, but we're back, and everything looks to be moving, which is always a good thing. I feel like movement, very important in League of Legends. Nice to have that back underway. So Italian getting that kill might bring him back into lane, but he's still down about 40 CS. And yeah, here's the dive here. Italian with no more ultimate. Seiya's gonna get revenge and wants that blue buff back. Trades it away, but he's literally just auto attacking him. Ignite's burning him down, but it's not enough. And now Porky. All right, so Porky gets the blue buff. And now I just want to see Seiya like let Porky die so he can snipe the blue buff off whoever kills him.
With that last play, I'm actually expecting Seiya just to die to Captain Ziploc for no real reason. Just walk into him and get hit by the ultimate. Lulu does make it out of the fight, though. Seiya will be staying a bit safer. Gets the ward that got him killed. What really matters in the end. And going to be going back to base.
He's like, aha!
That's what killed me.
Yeah,
that's why Shyvana ulted the push for no reason.
It's like NSA Cognitive. They're always watching. I was watching LPL this last week, and they actually call wards eyes in the LPL. So it's kind of interesting. That's basically what they are. I like to call them wards, but hey, they are eyes, and those eyes were the ones that saw Seiya. They see Seiya, saw, whatever.
One eye to spot out Seiya. Who had to say Seiya once Shyvana went for the ult. But now, 15-4, Cognitive looking rough, down about 2/3 gold compared to the rest of 7 Wars Lyon. Lyon, of course, they can keep going for the split push, they can go for the team fights. They have a whole lot of just options right now because they're so far ahead. Renekton himself has Sunfire Cape Brutalizer. This is not a high damage build compared to the Ravenous Hydra builds, but it should be safe.
Diamond in that 1v1 versus Ian the Culling coming out, and now just going to need one more auto attack. Ian, though, he's not taking no for an answer. Wants to go for this dive, needs that Relentless Pursuit. Diamond running for his life, and there's the Ardent Blaze to snipe him down.
I do enjoy the kill contribution coming up from Dredge. Initiation in the mid lane, though. A lot of people coming out. Out comes the tidal wave. Ziploc going on the hunt.
They're locking Porky down there. He's not going anywhere. Sunfire Cave's cool, but it's not going to be enough.
And, well, it also gives tower aggro as well. So if he did want to go for that dive and there were some minions around, it made actually a little bit trickier to survive.
Can't be sneaky. Turrets are kind of dumb every once in a while, but now the counter engage. Busting out the bushes here, trying to catch on to Baby Zeus and Ziploc. It's going to be the untimely demise of the top lane turret. So the push will continue here, but Cognitive have bigger problems. One of those, the kick back into the team. Executioner Ken, well, he's going to have the Executioner Lyon there, taking him down. Thyak, he can't stop it, man. It's like Dark Phoenix. He just cannot control all these kills coming his way. 10-0-4.
0-4. He has 45 CS 16 minutes in, but he's making up for it by just getting kills across the map. I've been trying to trade. He really can't do that.
Oh, he flashes under the turret. Ian wants the 1v1. One more turret.
Left turret. Gets it.
Stops in turret range. If he had just kept running, it might not have been enough to kill him. Or if he had maybe auto-attacked a couple more creeps for lifesteal. I don't know. A lot of questions about how that could have been made. But
he went very aggressive with that dive, blowing both Relentless Pursuit and the flash at the same time, trying to juke out any possible Piltover Peacemakers. Does cost him his life, but hey, he still gets the kill. A lot of minions to get denied at the turret as well, as Dragon is secured by Thyak on his own off to the side. A 9,000 gold lead. All right, let's be nice. 8,500 gold lead in favor of Lyon.
He almost had the culling out, and if you get a kill with the culling, it resets Relentless Pursuit, so you can dash in under the turret, call the guy to death. But now, okay, I think they wanted to keep that turret alive a little bit too much, and Thresh will pay for it. 7-18. Ooh. I don't know.
I mean,
don't call it a comeback.
Yeah, well,
I don't think anybody's going to do that. But
throws are very possible still. We've seen some like kind of looser casual play. Once again, going to reference that death by Seiya as he got ulted by Shyvana while he tried to gank with 200 HP. We'll always reference that because it was funny.
right.
But they have gotten pretty loose with their play. If they do make a lot of mistakes, you know, we've seen we have seen comebacks, and it can be off a play like that. You know, a support dies, it converts into 4 kills as people just come to the defense and realize that 4v5 is still kind of risky. So you're going to get hit by Captain Ziploc though. Might get first down. The vision not enough though.
Seiya needs to watch out for that kind of stuff. He's like, all of a sudden, I'm just standing still in a bush, just trying to camp things out. But no, Captain Ziploc's got his number that time around. And another good game to reference would be, of course, the VVV game from Monday, where it was Get Snuggled, who had an incredible Pantheon performance from the jungle. Maybe not 10-0-4, but was still unable to carry the rest of his team. Now as a very snowballing Lee Sin's got double offensive items, finally looking for some defensive items. He's going to have to make a lot of plays to keep the rest of his lanes going well, but the good thing is that they're at least breaking even.
Yeah, of course, Lee Sin himself, he doesn't have a lot of minions killed, so he doesn't actually have that much of experience. He's still below in level compared to the Italian one. And if he just sits up top lane farming forever, that might be the big reversal, eventually picking up a play of the Rune King to 1v1 Porky. Porky, however, with Sunfire Cape, and Spectre's Cal is feeling quite powerful now. Lyon, they really can't play too crazy. But as long as they kind of go for some surprise ganks, they can also go for team fights with how far ahead they are. It's about not going for the suicide dives more or less.
Yeah, exactly. They've got a lot of damage and a very strong advantage here, just now cresting about 8,000 gold. But, okay, Seiya's going in there, but needs to wait for the minions.
Yeah, Seiya definitely loves those aggressive plays. Ziploc ball breakers into Thyak. Thrak, what are you doing over there?
All right, Thyak will die here very unceremoniously. You worked all that game to go legendary 3 times in a row. Can't quite make it happen, and now, like you said, the over-aggressive die is just not working out. Now, the turret will fall here, but it's a 2-for-0. Ziploc and Baby Zeus need to make it back out alive. Baby Zeus stays alive. Nice clutch shield to keep him safe from Seiya.
And that was actually a 4v5, despite the numbers disadvantage. They held underneath the turret just because, well, some Wars Lyon, they're not exactly tanky yet. Lee Sin does not have a Randuin's Omen yet. I believe he didn't have that Warden's Mail for the fight. So he ends up getting bursted down before he can do anything. And like the only tanky member is going to be Renekton, but even then, you know, the Gator, well, he does build tank. He can't tank the turret and 4 members of Cognitive Gaming all at the same time. So this could be the start of the throw actually, as we see Lyon, their lead's gone from about 8,500 to 6,500 very quickly, as top turret also got taken down by the split between the Italian one.
And that's a lot to work on, because now you all of a sudden are almost tied up in turrets. You're now only doubling your opponents in kills, which is a confusing sentence to say, but more importantly, the aggregate difference is now only about 6,000 as far as gold's concerned. All right, now it's still almost 6,000. All right, the gold's keeping me honest.
It's varying a bit. There's always that little bit of variation as the minion waves do push forward and back. It's all about denying those waves, denying that variation, getting those objectives to solidify that lead. What is the next plan, though, for Cognitive? It's kind of wait to see what Lyon does. They have to react to their players, really, because they just cannot get enough wards across the map. Top turrets, turrets being down is pretty bad for Lyon in terms of push potential, but because the wave is so pushed so far in right now, Renekton has free roam to go wherever he wants, and it's going to be very difficult for Cognitive to spot him out.
All right, so for the time being, things have relatively slowed down. I think Lyon are finally figuring out, hey, we can't just run at them and kill everyone and win the game the easy way. They're going to have to take a little bit more of a strategic approach to it. One of them ways that you can win the game is by not actually fighting the guy, but catching them looking. And they were looking in the wrong direction. Lyon out-rotate them, take down the second-tier turret in the bottom lane. So as far as turrets out on the map, not a whole lot of those left, just a second-tier top lane turret, which is probably where Lyon are going to go. Yeah, ping's going down for Cognitive. They know what's up.
It's also not the most important turret, because what does it really provide you? It's an easy way for your top laner to roam from top to mid, and that's about it. Some cool jungle rotations can happen, but you know, it's like the least important turret. It does have a little bit of bearing, not all that much in the end. But for next in top lane, just going to go ahead, hang around. The rest of Lyon is starting to slowly converge. They could try and turn this with an over-the-wall initiation. The question is who initiates. Could be Thyak, could be Porky.
Oh, Thyak. Oh, that's a rough wall to walk around, but he's trying to bait something out. Gonna walk back the easy way, but might have to go over the wall here. Yeah, safeguard. Oh, okay.
A slow safeguard, the slow walk through the woods.
Yeah, he took the scenic route right through that wall and kind of walked his way on up there. But now pressure actually on the mid lane. And like you said, the second tier turret in the top lane may not be that significant, but what are those base turrets and getting a lot of nice damage down there. Of course, the turret will regen just a little bit. Italian trying to chase in here on Porky. He's going to throw down that Bilgewater Cutlass active. Actually not doing that badly in the matchup.
I mean, he has a lot of damage right now. Porky doesn't have the most DPS himself, and Shyvana just has a lot more sustained damage built into her kit. So Porky will stay safe. He himself was also low on HP, so going for the defensive option really is beneficial there. He probably would have died in that fight had it gone on for quite some time. He's not exactly far ahead himself. He is ahead by a decent amount of CS, but only 1-2-1, same score as Shyvana.
All right, Ziploc was in a rough spot there, but I think Lyon are more concerned about maybe taking down this dragon. They do have a lot of pressure around there, and most of that, of course, being their 10-1-4 Lee Sin, who is sizably far ahead. But now, it's Baby Zeus getting cut out. A perfect flash after the kick there. The Yak gets Baby Zeus right back into the team, going down. Ian taking him out there because Ziploc's going to go ahead and drop that assault and battery right on the Seiya. Keeps him down there in the back, but a chain will land, and now with the Yak right there for the damage. Oh, nice escape there. Captain Ziploc tries to escape right into Porky, who will take him down there. Now, the Italian one not going to make it out. It is, of course, Porky to pick up the ace for 7 Wars Gaming Lyon.
The clean 5-0. Unfortunately, for Cognitive, going for that just hard flank. You can't flank when you're so far behind. They just initiate onto your team and you'll die, which we end up seeing happen. Of course, good play from Thiak to catch him out in the first place. It was a good attempt from Ziploc to try and catch out Seiya, but going for that LeBlanc, if she has Distortion available, if she has her ult available, guess what? She's going over the wall. She's going away just way too far to really have any team to back you up, and Ziploc got a little bit too deep in, bit off more than he could chew, unfortunately. We'll see Lyon going back to base. Not enough time on the death timers yet for them to really take too many objectives, but in the end, their gold lead now about 11,400. Pretty far ahead, to say the least.
Yeah, they are definitely ahead. I don't think anybody would argue with you there. And if they would, I'd love to see them try because there are some advantages. I mean, you could say, okay, the bottom lane wasn't going well. It's starting to do a little bit better as Diamond and Executioner can finally get on to, there are a couple of third-tier items there, so not all that bad. If you look at items, Diamond is actually a little bit ahead of Ian right now, but that is, of course, because there's 3,200 gold in Ian's pockets that he does spend on that completed last Whisper, and now with not a whole lot of objectives left out there on the map, it will be Thiak and the rest of 7 Wars Lyon who will look to take that Baron. Look at that burst damage onto the Italian one.
They could theoretically rush the Baron right now because the Italian one is just low on HP. They won't take it safely, though. They'll wait, make sure that if they kill someone, it'll be Ziploc, as he does have that smite available. Thiak, of course, not that high level compared to Ziploc. Same experience, actually. So it's really fun to watch how the experience changes have actually completely equaled out a lot of the levels, except for Redacton up top lane, who's at a very dominating level 15.
Yeah, level 15, he's 3 levels ahead of Thiak there, so he's a big crocodile. Almost level 16 for that rank 3 dominance. That would really change these fights around, just giving you so much more health, and of course that dominant advantage. Ziploc's gonna kind of slide through the wall there a little bit, as Thiak will need to play this one carefully. Leon have already kind of thrown one dive out there, and do have to be continuing to be careful as they look to push down the second tier turret.
As for the tankiness factor, Lee Sin now quite a bit tankier with the Rando and Zoman finished. It's not amazing, but he can still take quite a bit of damage. And of course, Renekton with Spirit Visage, Sunfire Cape. There, he's got that full bit of tankiness. He's got the 2 major tank items. I'd say the Meta Golem of Season 3 for most of the big old bruises up top line.
Yeah, he's got that Spirit Visage, which is now no longer such a super great item, but does give you a lot of health in there. Now Seiya actually chunked down pretty low, but same thing for Executioner Ken, who's going to have to swim his way back on maybe to base. I'm not sure why he's turning around. They're looking for a pick, and especially this Baron being initiated, but I don't think there's a whole lot Cognitive can do about that.
It's not even initiation either. It's a bait. It's a bait. It's a trap. Ziploc. Can you get over the wall? Will be safe to play. Does not connect. But here comes Thiak looking for those insect plays. Does not connect. When's the initiation going to happen?
Oh, and there it is. The turnaround Italian one, and as Captain Ziploc going right back into the middle when he picks off Seiya. And Ian, the carry lineup's down, but they still have to deal with Porky and Thiak, both very, very strong. Slice and dice over the wall. Italian one following him. He's got that 1v1 if he wants it. Porky just heals up a little bit, but will eventually go down there. Italian one and a crazy counter engage there. That was mental, but they turn it around into a 3-4 for 1 exchange.
That is Shyvana Vi. Seiya could not escape in time, took too much damage from the Shyvana ultimate into the Vault Breaker, into the Assault and Battery, and same thing with Ian off to the side. It's that incidental AoE, you don't hear a lot about it because it doesn't come up that often, but they both stayed too grouped up, got destroyed by the burnout, destroyed by the Vault Breaker. Now Taiwan able to actually go ahead with escape that fight too, and they take out the mid turret. They won a fight with 11,000 gold behind by just initiating hard into the enemy team and going for that burst.
11,000 gold, and it doesn't matter.
Well, that is their team comp. They can so reliably get to the back line. Ziploc, Assault and Battery cannot be stopped. Taiwan can be stopped by a good play coming out from Thresh, but at the same time, they'd already gone and used that cooldown while trying to initiate. Flashes over the wall, they're trying to catch out.
Here's the catch right now as Captain Ziploc and Baby Zeus will try to escape. There's a nice whimsy to get Captain Ziploc away, but now Baby Zeus will be forced to Wild Growth. Gets a nice 3-man Glitter Lance, and you just can't chase Lulu. Those Glitter Lances are way too good. But this is a nice Baron attempt at least set up here for Seven Wars Lyon. They want to go for it. I don't know what to say. Yeah, crazy engages there.
It's that focused AO or single target damage onto important targets like Seiya, onto important targets like Ian.
This is why it's important to have a leader, or more aptly named a captain. It looks like Cognitive have Captain Ziploc, but I think I don't know. You're going to need an upgrade to a captain, maybe Admiral Ziploc or maybe Admiral Akbar here for Lyon to keep them from going into these traps.
Now they can still win those team fights, but the problem is Ian and Seiya just can't be near each other, and of course Seiya. You don't build Zhonya's till very, very late in the game on LeBlanc. He might need that a little bit sooner just because that completely stops Ziploc's ultimate. You can also time that well and dodge a lot of the Italian one's damage. But now with the Blade of the Ruined King finished, they could even go for stronger dives now. It's going to be a little bit intimidating, especially since Ian's also going for a build we saw, I believe, from Complexity Black on Robert, where he did not build a defensive item until his 6th item, and he just kept getting bursted down beforehand.
All right, well, if you want to talk about bursts, you see a lot of it there for Seiya. He's finally got that death cap completed, and he's looking for the real big item that's going to change the amount of damage he does, that Void Staff. Almost completed. That's going to be what really allows him to chunk down the Italian one. We've seen him do it earlier even without that magic penetration, but definitely going to do it once he completes. That's the Lich Bane, though, from Baby Zeus. Just gives him so much more damage. It's an item that will be changed, much to its detriment. I don't think we'll see a whole lot of Lich Banes next patch. But it's one that's allowing him to still be very strong, and more importantly than the damage, just the utility. You can see those 7 assists really helping out, but Cognitive. It's a scary time, Studio.
They got to be careful. They got that one fight down. They still can't initiate on, or they can't initiate a separate split-up fight.
Okay, Captain Ziploc way ahead of the rest of his team, and you're going to have to see that tidal wave, maybe, I don't know, 1 or 2 more needed to catch on up to here. The culling to come out from Ian. He does put a lot of damage back, and look at Porky and Fiak just tank up the entire Cognitive roster. They're running back, but there's no turret there, and now it's Thresh who may not be able to run far enough. A huge bubble landed by Executioner again, but here comes Fiaki's back, or Seiya, back in the fight. It's a 2 for 2 so far. Flashed over the wall. Ian staying alive for now. Flash in there. Diamond not able to take him down. The creep damage. Is it enough to pilt over? Pacemaker stopping his heart, and now with a flash over the wall, it's not enough to keep Executioner Ken alive. Porky full health back onto Diamond. He's got Seiya there as well. And oh, Diamond. Poor Diamond. Can he find the kill? He does. A headshot. Takes out Seiya. It's Diamond against the world. It's not enough. But you gotta look towards Baby Zeus. He's still alive and has that Lich Bane power.
He takes out the inhibitor, just backs on out of there. Unfortunately, Lyon they just don't have enough damage when they're being run down like that.
Oh
Seiya can't go for the burst. He's using distortion defensively. Ziploc was in the entire enemy team, and he still got out A-okay just by walking around out of that fight. Like, I like the Lyon lineup, but they're getting initiated on. They can't get any damage off on anybody. And once they start getting run down, what do they have to do? They have to keep on running, keep on escaping, because Seiya can't turn around after he uses his ult to disengage. Ian's being forced to just play a retreating game rather than getting a good chance to actually go offensive, and it's just shutting them down. It's tearing them to bits. They're now only behind by 8.3k gold on the Cognitive side. They're playing well. They're going for the aggressive dives. If they ever play passively, if they ever let Lyon do what they want to do, they will lose the game still. They do not have enough control. But with the inhibitor down, the Baron's not going to be a major threat as it will push in automatically and naturally towards the Lyon base. This could be the turnaround for Cognitive. This could be their next win, actually tie them up in the overall standings.
Yeah, that would tie them up, and I don't know. This is looking like I saw somebody else on Twitter compare NACL to EU LCS because any team can beat any other team. It's been great. It's been incredible to watch all season long. Captain Ziplock's looking for the engage, misses it onto Thresh, and somewhat embarrassingly trying to back away. There's a nice Randuin's just to slow this initiation from happening. Ian already just blows Baby Zeus up before the fight can even start. You got Thresh in the back there, kind of zone out Italian one. Keep him away from that carry back line. Seiya will find the kill onto Captain Ziplock, and this is a 2-0 start to the team fight. Italian one trying to back off away. There's the ace in the hole, but it's not going to find Seiya. His hole stays completely safe from being aced, and the team as well safe from being aced too.
The Baron, however, no Ziplock. That's no smite. It is going to be the Baron for Lyon. They can finally go ahead. They baited it twice. Now it's time to actually secure it. We can already see members coming in from Cognitive Gaming. That was Lyon taking control. That was them taking the initiative. Finally staying grouped up, but just starting a damn fight. With that, Ziplock gets bursted down, and they cannot turn it around. So Seiya almost gets killed from the side.
You know, it was actually Baby Zeus that died first there, and how as a Lulu with like a giant growth shield, glitter lance, you got so many defensive utility options. Didn't even matter there. The Void Staff power completed just in time. And of course, I think it was actually Ian that got onto him. And as an 80 carry, if you can DPS a Lulu who's supposed to be like in the middle of the team, that's pretty impressive to do. So
that's good positioning. That's good positioning coming out from Ian. Really, when they're on the forward, Lyon's team is amazing because you have Distortion doing damage. You have Thiak able to really go in there aggressively and just apply a triple combination to slow down all of Cognitive. But when they're on the defensive, everybody's running. There is no Tempest Cripple for the slow. There is a whole lot of kiting going on, but you know, Lucian's not exactly the best kiter if you're trying to weave in auto attacks compared to Caitlyn. He's just running them all down. So Baron now on Lyon. They now have a 13,000 gold lead again. Their mid inhibitor is still down actually, so not really getting all that map control.
Now Captain Ziplock's waiting there in the
and
brush. I don't know, Captain Ziplock kind of bungled that last initiation. He tried to go in onto Thresh, and he was like, I missed it, what do I do? And then he died, Baby Zeus died, and really Baby Zeus, if he's able to stay alive, the persistent damage that Lulu offers to team fights is just absolutely ridiculous. Turret will fall, and now, it's Captain Ziplock. He's going to once again be the back, or I guess the front line there. 2B Visual actually going to go down here, so Thresh dies before this fight starts. Diamond dealing a lot of damage. The Mikhail's onto Captain Ziplock to keep him alive. The Italian one's just tanking up everybody. Will finally fall there, but now we got Baby Zeus and Diamond, the entire carry lineup left up here for Cognitive. Acing the hole over the wall, chunks down Thiak. Slowed once again onto Porky. He's going to slice and flash over the wall, but it's not enough. Pix good to finish that kill off, and now the the run of the century here. It's like a marathon. 40K all the way back to the base. More like 60K. Seiya going for the kill onto Baby Zeus. Baby Zeus not going to be able to die there. I guess it was rather Seiya not able to kill him off there. The shields, like we said, just too much utility there from Lulu, and especially with the support scaling. The more AP you put onto Lulu, the faster he gets. Now, this is going to be the second death of that mid lane inhibitor. The Axe just has to get back to base. There's Baron buff on Lyon, and Cognitive just don't care.
They're starting the fights. They're just too squishy. Seiya being taken out by incidental damage. Thiak went for the Black Cleaver. They don't need that Black Cleaver. They don't need the damage. They need the defense. They need the tank in the front line to actually soak up if they get initiated on.
Imagine if you had like Banshee's Veil and then like another like Hex Drinker.
And anything to tank them up, anything to give a little bit more mitigation. The HP on Black Cleaver is nice, yeah, but it's not helping them. They do have a lot of physical damage, so it's a pretty big boon. But in the end, it doesn't matter if Thiak is dying in a good 3 to 4 seconds. Cognitive's team has a huge amount of DPS. Like Shyvana getting ahead, we haven't seen that in a long time actually here at the NACL. Shyvana's have just not been doing well.
Right, it's been all Renekton all the time.
Like this game and the last game we saw Shyvana in, it shows just how effective she is, just how important she is for those team fights. If you get her just a few items, she dives in, and most AD carries cannot kill her quickly enough. And they'll end up just dying in those trades. That's been the case here. It's Ian getting run down by Shyvana. It's Ziplock getting decent initiations on whoever's been caught out. Before it was Ziplock and Ian Italian one combined, now it's just Italian one on his own going for those chases.
And man, this game has been so back and forth. You still see a, what is this now, a 12,000 gold lead for Lyon. They have Baron buff. They have an 11 kill advantage and a 1 turret advantage. Every single stat pointing in favor of 7 Wars Lyon. But almost every single fight, with one, of course, very notable exception, going to Cognitive. So I don't know what you do if you're Cognitive right now. You try for more of these like super hard engages, catching them out, because To be honest, Seiya and Ian die very, very fast, very quickly rather. But with the Negatron on Ian, he's going to die maybe a little bit more slowly.
Hopefully it might be enough with use of QSS. Ziploc going forward.
Oh, and a Lantern to stop that out there. That's the Talisman down, and that really limits the big team mobility. And with a huge wave pushing top lane, Cognitive are going to have to back out and deal with it.
Lyon could try and rotate towards playing safely at the same time, though. It's not the wise thing to try and even
they have to go
out.
back and protect their base.
They do. But like they can't let the game momentum kind of stop. As for a second, we were actually having a release in our screen. It's like waited the game to stop. But if they let this go into late game, it's a Caitlyn team with a lot of protection for that Caitlyn compared to Lucian, who he can carry late game, yes, but I'd be much more confident if I was Cognitive playing the late game. So they can't really let Diamond get too strong, as he's also himself just a very proficient player, able to easily carry out this late game. So they need to keep applying that pressure, but the question is, how do they do it? If they go for the straight-up team fight, A, it's being initiated by Ziploc and Taiwan, which they can't let happen because Seiya's getting blown up and Ian's getting blown up. B, eventually they'll just get outscaled. So I want to see them apply pressure. I want to see them go ahead and try and use Seiya for that burst of pushes with a little bit of backup from the team rather than just going for the straight-on, just man fight.
All right, well, currently Seiya, his Mimic actually has, I believe, a 14-second cooldown. That seems fairly short to me, Studio. And that's just because he went for the CDR that you get from that Athene's Unholy Grail. Not an item we were used to seeing on LeBlanc's for a while, and he actually still doesn't have a Deathfire Grasp. So going for more of the traditional AP carry build rather than anything specific to LeBlanc, like a Deathfire Grasp Rush. There it is, finally bought out there. No Zanya's there, but still a ton of damage. And that's kind of the story for both AD carries right now. Because you can see there's actually Ian, who sold his Negatron cloak. He was going defensive, said, nah, and that ain't all about that life. Picked up a Bilgewater Cutlass, and is now going for even more life steal.
That could work. That could work versus Shyvana quite well. That will actually stop a lot of that chase potential. That might be a better purchase than the QSS. QSS would get rid of the Blade of the Rune King debuff on himself, but it wouldn't get rid of the Blade of the Rune King buff on
But at the
Shyvana.
same time, both top laners just now grabbing Thorn Mails out there as well.
That's going to be rough. That will nullify most of his lifesteal. I mean, he could still get
Well,
HP regeneration,
he's
but
like, it's
not going to be solid.
Nullify my lifesteal, so I better buy more lifesteal. Double lifesteal items, of course, there on Ian.
So both the Blade of the Rune King, Bloodthirster, that might actually be enough to keep himself alive versus Italian one. Ziploc hasn't really been going for Ian that much necessarily. He's been going for just whoever's caught out, as they decided Italian one can carry enough without his help. But Baron up in 25 seconds could be a very easy and fast Baron for Lyon. They still have that massive gold lead, so they could still win a fight very easily, but just the initiations, the Ziploc, the Italian one pressure is too much.
And I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to see. Ooh, wow, a nice ace in the hole there. Catches Seiya in the middle of his team, and the LeBlanc at half health. There's no spell ban for lifesteal. He's going to stay there until he regens. And now Cognitive are pushing up mid. Now there might be a nice flank here from Thiak coming in from behind. Cognitive pushing very, very aggressively. Seiya's actually recalling to the base. Inhibitor is up, and I don't know. Cognitive looked to have a very strong push started here.
Home guard boots coming out from Seiya. The chase is on. Will they go for this initiation? They do have Thiak off to the side. Cullen comes out.
Yeah, there's a culling over the wall already. A giant growth force out. There's the Mikhails as well. Diamond stand big, stand huge in the back of the team fight. Just kiting out, dealing a ton of extra damage. And nobody able to stop him right now. You've got the big front line doing a ton of damage, but now finally Diamond's time may have come. Can he find Porky? Takes him down. It's a 2-for-3 exchange, and Baby Zeus, Diamond, the carry, is still alive for Cognitive.
It's that rundown. They finally are able to secure a good fight. Just once again, they started themselves. They focused on the initiation. And Thiak was the bait, getting them towards that nice little corner where everyone from Cognitive was kind of grouped up. Meaning the initiation from Thiak, the initiation from Porky. They do go down at the end, but they got a lot of slows, a lot of AoE. Those Branduins coming into huge effect there. They're going to go ahead, focus on keeping their base alive since we've got these minions. Now they can go ahead and push out a bit. If they get some good vision down, they can try and ambush instead of a fight, or even rotate towards that Baron. But they do have two members down. They do have their front line gone. Diamond himself can actually make some pretty big outplays, especially with Wall Growth already up on Lulu, so it's going to be a little bit risky for them to go for too many big objectives now. So I want to see what they do now. Do they just go for the ward coverage? Do they try and set up an ambush, set up some jungle warrior, hide in the bushes?
Okay, well, for right now, I think Baron may decide once again another game here. Starting to get some ward coverage around that area. Lyon they're building so full, just like wombo combo damage that fight, the last one that we saw, they went in to try to get their damage off, and the tank line actually held up for a really long time. Ziploc an Italian one, allowing Diamond enough time to kill off both Thiak and Porky. And after an incredibly strong early game from Thiak, we're late enough where that may not matter anymore. Banshees fail. Success. Captain Ziploc gets out alive. No catch there, but Porky's going to get in here. Where's the stun? Baby Zeus going to get that giant growth forced out very, very early in this fight. Got a lot of CDR, but now as soon as that spell goes down, Lyon are just like, all right, we got an ult. Now we're just going to back off and try to further re-engage.
Go ahead, go for it.
They're pinging on Baron.
Pings on Baron. While growth being down isn't the biggest deal, it doesn't have the longest cooldown either, so they can't really rely on any sort of sustained advantage off that. Baron, will it be started up? It could be another bait. This would be their third bait of the game as
Ace in the hole finds Seiya again.
They all split for that. They all split to let him get hit by that. Takes him down to half HP. Now Seiya has to go back to base. Actually, Fudge comes out.
Executioner Ken could be in trouble there. Thiak, get bubble onto Porky. This fight is so passive aggressive. They're just running at each other. Piercing light. Almost catching over the wall. Seiya is too low to fight right now. If he jumps in, he's going to die immediately. One Lichbane proc is pretty much just going to kill him out. The culling kind of catching no one. Ziploc's going to take a couple hundred damage, but I don't think he's too concerned about that one. Cognitive are kind of split right now. They're trying to go bottom lane. They will tank up that turret just a few hits, but there's actually going to be an engage. Executioner Ken gets caught out. There's a giant growth, a huge knockup, another one from the bubble. Executioner Ken lives. He's out alive. Porky trying to take the carry lineup. There's Captain Ziploc. Will go down to Seiya, who's going to take him over the wall, but Italian one diving in there. He's so strong and everyone's so low. Porky's going to get Mikhail's trying to go right back in onto this Italian one, flashing away, but it's the nice sigil from Seiya that takes him out. We've got Diamond still alive. Where's he? He's backing away.
They're all retreating. Ace in the hole is up, so they could try and go for a snipe, which is going to be actually extra scary.
Are they Baroning right now?
No HP. Their ping's onto it. They spot them going into the pit.
A minion followed Seiya in there, so they know this is not a good. Okay, they're going to get a lot of extra health back. There's a lot of shields there too. So maybe this is what you want to do.
Ace in the hole could almost pick up a kill on everybody except maybe Porky right now. Maybe Thiak. He's seeing a lot of regeneration.
Okay, Baron very, very low here. Could they steal it away? No, but now with the Baron buff, they're all huddled in the back of the pick. There's one Ace in the hole. Diamond unstoppable after taking down Thresh. But to be honest, all you need to do is just walk down mid. Cognitive have a very strong presence here, but they're going to try to hunt out these bushes, try to find at least someone.
It makes sense. It's only a 3 versus 3. They don't have that big of an advantage, and actually Ian's up in a few seconds. They have to take this. They have to take this now. Thiak has shown up. In comes Seiya.
Oh, there's Seiya. Ken once again getting that giant growth, keeping him alive, but just barely. Glitterlance backwards will not hit anyone. This is a Baron up. 7 Wars Lyon, and I feel like this could be the beginning of the end for Cognitive. They lost the Baron. They weren't able to get an inhib, and now with these side waves pushing in so strongly, there's just probably too many objectives for them to take. They're going to lose Dragon here. Not the biggest deal, but
in the end, they're only getting gold off this, and Lyon has shown that even with the massive gold lead, it may not be enough every now and then, as even with Baron, actually, and a massive gold lead, they've already lost fights. However, Ian has where the Rune King's been. It's going to be so difficult for Siobhan to actually close that gap and stay on to him, because if he ever gets slow, he just pops his own blade of the Rune King, tries to kite that out even further. This is going to be incredibly difficult. However, Italian one, Ziploc initiation. It's worked so well in the past. Why won't it work well this time? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. No Zonya's finished up on Seiya quite yet. I think that will actually be the nail in the coffin for Cognitive, just because that is the extra safety button that Seiya so far. He's needed it for a long time. He's going for the damage instead because he just hasn't had enough. But once he does get Zonya's, then he will be able to at least get that second ultimate off, most likely.
Yeah, there's a 60 CS advantage for Seiya over Lulu there. So Baby Zeus being that one item behind is actually huge, because Seiya's got a death cap. Baby Zeus still building his death cap, and if he takes the detour to get a Zonya's, he'll just never be in the same realm of damage. I'd like to see him still get that Zonya's, but it's just a little bit of a damage difference that allows Seiya to be very, very aggressive.
Push coming out from the mid lane. Looks like Connor's going to go ahead, scout that out, keep their waves cleared. You can see it, Lyon now very, very careful. They do not want to leave their base. They do not want to go too far out unless they feel confident. They can see, I believe, Seiya up at the top lane clearing those waves, so they realize, let's go ahead, push down mid. Actually, really aggressively pushing down towards mid. Looking for a catch, but can't quite launch.
The thing that's surprising to me is that there's almost a 20,000 gold lead here for for 7 Wars Lyon, and it hasn't looked close. It has looked very close for the last maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. Cognitive's been making plays from behind and just superior team fighting skills, and this is great teamwork from a team that's been together for maybe a week or two. It's hasn't been a long time.
I believe they played an extra 3 games before their first game on Monday, so maybe
all right,
like 9 or 10 games.
They've played together before. That's what counts. But running all the way back to their base, they have to group up here for this push. It's actually going to be a 4-1, and this is not good for Lyon. They have their strong AP burst carry all the way down in the bottom lane. If Cognitive force a fight right now, if they just like run up the mid lane, they can maybe pick somebody off. This is dangerous.
Well, LeBlanc's able to go ahead and rotate towards the jungle already. Caitlyn going to go ahead and try to beat her up, maybe.
There's Ace in the hole. Once again, nobody blocking that. It's like everybody's...
Well, no one was nearby that time.
Well, that's Saya's fault that time.
Yeah.
Before it was his team for not blocking it out, but now Bubble onto Porky, a little bit of damage coming down. Crit's taking him down to half health. And those Glitter Lances, now they're just going to catch Initiate right onto the Crocodile. He's got a Lantern there. Can he click it in time? There's actually a very tanky Thresh coming in there as well. Lots of knockups. And Porky stays alive. There's Thresh very dead. Very, very dead. Diamond dominating, taking him out. And with a 4v5 right now, it's actually a 3v5 because Porky can do nothing but run. Cognitive, they have what it takes to win this game. Can they do it?
They're going for the chase, looking for Saya. No ultimate on Ziploc. Does have all
Shane back. Oh my gosh, Ziploc. He's going to go down, but can they catch out Italian one? Starting to get chunked out there. There's Ian coming from the side. He just blows Babies apart. Now Diamond's going to have his GA popped out there. And Ian very, very low. The respawn from the GA. Diamond trying to take him out, but not. He gets him with the, was that red buff?
What? Red buff would have been on at that point. I actually don't know what killed him there.
I think red buff stays after you die from GA.
Oh, yes, I believe it does now.
All right, so he was able to get that red buff. It's a 2 for 3, but it's the 3 that count. It's a support and top laner trying to stop this incredibly bursty Saya and the rest of his tank line from pushing into the base. If Cognitive can stay alive here, I'm going to believe in just about anything. Pigs flying, tons of crazy things. Kick back into there. Executioner Ken actually staying alive. They're chasing it back. He will Mikhail's himself. The dive is not what you want to do right now. Now Saya, Porky, the act, they're all chunked down. Italian one going to try to make this one work. He will finally die here, but they just need to stay alive for as long as possible. Porky is very low. Can Executioner Ken come back and stop this inevitable push? This is not a game-winning push from Lyon.
Well, it's very possible it could be, but Ian going down should actually be able to keep this alive for Cognitive. It'd be close, but with Porky just so low, Executioner Ken could actually almost pick up the kill by himself. And going for the chase is going to try and stall them out a bit. A little bit risky, say low on HP himself, but I still think Ken would die from that one full burst combo. Still, now a 19,000 gold lead, finally in favor of Lyon, almost taking that 20,000 lead. They did it. They've pushed the base. With that, they should be able to go ahead and rotate and try and take down mid and top. But this is looking kind of rough now for Cognitive. How do you come back from this? You go for that hard initiation. It worked well versus Porky, but they kited into Ian. Ian was able to go ahead and just take him out. Take out Baby Zeus really so quickly.
And one decision that really could turn things around is Baby Zeus deciding to go for a Death Cap instead of a Zhonya's. You do see a full 6-item stack build there for Saya. He's got the aggression from Death Cap, but he also has a Zhonya's Hourglass. And against the burst damage that really turned that last fight around, Baby Zeus blew up. He almost didn't have time to even ult there. It's a very strong AP carry lineup for both teams, but with no Zhonya's, there's nothing Baby Zeus can do other than maybe Giant Growth. But at this point, I think there's even too much damage for that.
Yeah, the Giant Growth might help someone survive a LeBlanc combo, but he himself is not providing the most in a sustained fight just because he's being chased out so easily. There is a lot of backline for Cognitive, and there's a lot of front line, but that front line is more dive-based. It's Vi running in, it's Shyvana rushing in. You compare that to Lulu and Caitlyn, who kind of need some protection at this point in the game, and they can't really be afford protection. Actually, Executioner Ken in a lot of danger now.
Executioner Ken going to get taken down very, very low, but it's the counter engage onto Thiak. A ton of damage being dealt back there. Ace in the hole onto Saya. He does get chunked down just again, and it's Diamond's sniper powers that have really put Saya on maybe the back foot in some situations. Now, Lyon are going to go for the Baron, but it's actually Cognitive. They're looking for to end the game. I do not think that Lyon have time to stop them. They're all trying to get their recalls down. They're trying to kill the Baron as quickly as possible. There's super minions pushing in to Cognitive's base. The minions are almost going to end the game unless they get a nice another respawn. Can Cognitive recall in time? They are not going to make it. They're going to lose one Nexus turret. They might lose a second one. They do get a nice respawn of a minion wave, so second Nexus turret may be alive for maybe just a little bit longer, but oh, Lyon is on the hunt.
They're looking for someone. Lulu will get out. Vi will get out as well. So there should be actually full recall from all the stragglers off on the side. You can see the rest of Cognitive just going straight through the mid lane, realizing that they cannot stop for any reason or they die. They do lose the next turret. They get the inhibitor in response, so that's a lot more push control. But with the Baron up members of Lyon, the 20-some thousand gold lead, they're looking so strong, so powerful. They're ready to go ahead, just push this down mid maybe. Can they kill the Ziploc?
Better situation for Lyon because they get to push down the lane with super minions, so those minions aren't going to push into the base. The burst attempt once again onto Executioner Ken, not successful. Jack's inside the base. He can just back off bottom or help push that super minion wave in. So once again, some more bursts trying to onto the Italian one. My words have been all used up. This is a 52-minute game starting to run out.
2-minute game with a whole lot of actions, everything just falling apart for Lyon halfway through that game. Initiation coming out from Cognitive though.
They're going to get that big combo in there. Ziploc and the Italian one just diving in way too much ambient damage, and it's just Diamond doing free damage for days. Gets hit by the Thresh Box. Excuse me, Box, so he's going to be slowed just a little bit, but everyone dying here for Lyon. It's Diamond coming up huge. Seiya trying to back away. His clone dies, but he stays alive. Porky, oh, the bubble of doom, drowning the crocodile.
Seiya cannot recall. He's going for kills, actually. Didn't expect this. Expected him to go ahead.
The McHale's, though, on a Diamond. It's a 60-second death timer and a quadra kill to finish the game. Diamond, a girl's best friend and also Cognitive Gaming, says now he will push up that mid lane. There's only an inhibitor. No, there's no inhibitor. I forgot they took that down.
Took it. Yeah, this is it.
Captain Ziploc tanky enough. He's got heals for as much as he needs health. And now with Baby Zeus's Lichbane coming into the end, Diamond's asking for a tryout on Lyon, but he's got a good team for himself right now, as after a 53-minute game, Cognitive Gaming will pick up their second win of the North American Challenger League and, more importantly, a win against Seven Wars Lyon. And I am amazed. I have no words for that game. So back and forth, but Cognitive just fighting their hearts out.
I mean, the best way to describe it is the game ended with the 100,000 gold mark being reached by Lyon from the passive ticks.
100.2k gold.
That is how long that game was. That is how many kills there were. 72 kills in that game. 72. That is more than a kill a minute.
More than a kill a minute.
In a 54-minute game.
That is a game for the record books. Almost, I think all but one turret in that mid lane being taken down. A great base defense, maybe throws, maybe turnarounds, whatever you want to call them. But Cognitive Gaming, with a new roster, come out guns blazing. And even though Diamond only had one gun versus Ian's double guns, it was twice as long. So size mattering in that department. We're going to finish things off with that being our last game of the night. And as we do close things out, I want to thank every single one of you for watching us here tonight. We could not do it without you, and we really want to thank you for tuning in. And once again, if you missed any of the games here tonight, you can check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/NACL esports for all of the VODs from today's games or any of the games this season. We'd love to have you check us out there, but also make sure to follow NACL esports on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and of course YouTube as well. And if you want to tweet at NACL esports using the hashtag NACL, we'd love to hear what you have to say and maybe talk a little bit about some of these incredible games tonight. But we've still got one more day of incredible games coming up this week. That's tomorrow. We'll see you guys then at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to tune right back in for another day of the last day of the week here for Week 4 of NACL. I think that's going to do it. So on behalf of myself and Studio, EGAD as well, you can see our Twitters right there if you want to follow us. We'd love to talk to you too, but that's going to do it. So I'd like to thank our live broadcast crew and all of you guys for watching. So on behalf of everyone here from NACL, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you tomorrow.